Hi everybody, welcome back to Waiting Moose. I am Erin and I am here to talk about, actually I'm here to do a book review about Devil in a Blue Dress. Yes, Devil in a Blue Dress by Walter Mosley. This was one of my Diversithon picks. However, this had actually been on my to-read list forever because it's a mystery and I love mysteries. So while it is a diverse read and it's an own voices read because the author is biracial, it's an own voices book. What was I saying? I hate when that happens. Anyway, it is a diverse read. I'm going to put it down because I'm just going to put a thing up here so that I'm not waving this around because I do have a habit of waving things, including my hands. Let me tell you about Devil in a Blue Dress. This book is the story of Easy Rawlins and how he becomes a private detective. This is why I originally added the book to my TBR years ago without even realizing that it was a biracial author and a black character. That didn't matter. Yes, I know. I'm just saying, I'm not saying, I'm not trying to say, I don't notice color. But the book had been recommended to me. It was a mystery. It sounded interesting. Let's just leave it at that. I do notice color. I thought this book was awesome. I'm just going to carry on like that didn't happen. Devil in a Blue Dress. Walter Mosley, our main character in this book, is Easy Rawlins, and this year is 1948. Easy Rawlins is hanging out in a bar, and when the bartender calls him over and tells him that, let me back up. Why is it when I get in front of the camera, my nose starts running like someone turned a tap on? Because maybe I'm allergic to this room. Maybe I'm allergic to my bookshelf. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's return to the book. The year is 1948. Easy Rawlins is a war veteran back from the war. And he's just recently been fired from his job. As a black man in the late 40s, obviously this is a problem. He cannot easily find work, even in LA. And so he's drinking in a friend's bar when the bartender calls him over. The bartender's his friend. Calls him over to meet a white man and says, you know what? This guy's got a job for you. I know you lost your job. Maybe you can help this guy out. Earn some money. Pay your mortgage this month. Because in the late 1940s, one of the things that stood out in this book, and one of Easy Rawlins' motivations is that he owns a house and he has a mortgage to pay. So that's why he's doing this. And it's a common, it's a theme throughout this book, is this house is giving this black man roots and a pride of ownership, and it is really like the thing he's most proud of in his life. He doesn't talk about his war record. He doesn't talk about any of that. He talks about his house and what his house means to him, which I thought was really interesting. So he gets hired to find a white woman who apparently has an interest in black jazz clubs in LA. Now, this starts him down a bit of a bad road. One of the quotes on the back compares him as a writer to Chandler or, wow, this is going so well, Hammett, Dashiell Hammett, Raymond Chandler, or Kane, and I'm not sure what Kane they're referencing here, but they compare him to those authors. And yes, he does kind of meet that. Now, this book was published in 1990, so he's writing about a previous time period. It's not written in the 1940s, like Hammett and Chandler wrote in their respective time periods, or close to their respective time periods. Walter Mosley's reaching back into the past. I got hair stuck to my lip. Having pets, their hair gets everywhere. I'm going to read the quote from the back that compares them to Hammett and Chandler. Okay. So richly atmospheric, honors the hard-boiled tradition of Hammett, Chandler, and Kane, but Mosley takes us down some mean streets that his spiritual predecessors never could have. A fast-moving, entertaining story written with impressive style. Now, you know what? Yeah, a cover blurb is a cover blurb. I'm going to put that down again because the book's up here. Cover blurb is a cover blurb, and I don't always believe what's written on there because I've read a bit about how these things happen. A cover blurb doesn't necessarily mean that someone's read the book. So but this one actually, it was from the LA Times book review, so obviously they read the book. I read this in a single day because I could not put it down. The more I got into this story and the deeper I got into what was happening to Easy Rawlins, the more I needed to know how it was going to end. At the time, I thought that there was 5 or 6 books in the series, and I was kind of bummed and disappointed because I was looking at it going, oh my god, this, like, if this book as a first in series is this well written, often first in series books are not that good, especially in mystery series, right? So they get better as you go along, and he only got 6 books. Like, come on, give me a break. He's gonna have more books than that. Turns out series is still ongoing, so that was a really good find for me because I love this book. I mean, I could gush about this book for days. I loved the characters. I thought that the characters were well written. I'm not a person of color. Clearly not a person of color. So I don't know. I can't speak to the authenticity of the characters in this and their behavior and what happened to them in 1948, but I loved that Easy Rawlins talks about how, you know, he's investigating this crime and he's trying to get quickly from one place to another at night. And he pretty much says, like, I can't run. Because if I run, the police are going to stop me. Because a black man running at night is obviously cause for alarm. And, yeah, so let's compare that to today. So this, in a way, like the book, when I read Bonfire of the Vanities, I thought that it was amazing and how little had changed in 30 years, from 1980 to 2016. That was when I read it. 1980s to 2016. I've read this book now, and it is set in 1948. And while I feel like maybe some of the things in this, actually no, I can't even say that. I was going to say some of it's a little maybe progressive for what would have happened to a black man in 1948, but, you know, it was California, and I don't know if California was that progressive back then, but I can only assume it was. And things were said to him that I can totally believe were said to him, that I could totally see being said to him today. And that's the disappointing part for me. So this is a book where I read it and I'm like, oh my god, race relations have had so little progress in what I thought was the last 30 years, but apparently it's much bigger than that. Getting back to the book, wow. This has to be a spoiler-free review just because I haven't hardly talked about the book at all. Regardless, we're going to get back to the book. I thought the writing was really good. It is very fast-paced. There is an extremely believable plotline, and Easy Rawlins, our main character, while he is actively trying to resolve the issue, he also gets swept along in other people's other people's maneuverings. And I just thought it was just a great book. I loved the atmosphere. I loved the blues clubs. I loved sort of the speakeasy feel of the one. I can't say enough great things about this book. What did I give it? Oh my god. I'm going to give it 3 stars. I love this book, but I gave it 3 stars. No, I'm going to give it 3 stars. Okay, if I gave it 3 stars, I'm going to up that to a 4-star review because I just thought that this book did so much so well. And not only is it a great mystery, but he brings attention to race relations, and he easily writes a hard-boiled detective novel, as well as Hammett or Chandler or whoever Kane is. I have read Hammett and Chandler though, and this is right up there with them. Now, I might have gone with 3 stars just because that genre tends to be a hard one to write and review. It's violent, it's gritty and dirty, and it is what it is. I did think that there was some gratuitous sex scenes that didn't really do much for the plot. I thought the twist at the end was rather interesting, and I didn't see that coming at all. Anyway, I just wanted to share this book with all of you. I think that if you get a chance and you do like the hard-boiled detective novel genre, and you want something that maybe has some black representation in it, this is the book for you. It is fantastic, and I now have 15 more books to read that I didn't have before I picked this one up. Anyway, thank you once again for watching. This was Waiting Moose, and I am Erin. Yet another review filmed, and I need some more content for the rest of the days of my week, because you guys don't want to see reviews all the time, so I'll see what I can do for you. Yes, I will. And I will see you again. Have a great day, everybody, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.